I'm going to mute us all and then we'll get started. Great. Okay, let's start with 3 breaths up. Take an inhale and exhale. Let go of anything that you don't need and take an inhale. Feel the rib cage 3-dimensionally and exhale. Let go of anything that doesn't serve your higher good. Take an inhale and exhale. Bring your hands to your thighs and then we're going to wake up the upper body with a little rotation and dropping one shoulder and drop the other. And the upper back is getting a little rotational stretch. The inner thighs. And 4. Exhale. 3. Good. You can see you get a little lower. 2. And 1. Let's do a little extension. Like you're a Halloween cat, you're going to do flexion. Inhale, extension. Exhale, flexion. Waking up that back, waking up the joints. And 2 more, getting synovial fluid going, the WD-40 of the joints. This time we're going to roll all the way up. And once you're up, take your up and over reach like you're painting a rainbow on each arm. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. You might be able to go a little lower. Inhale. Keep that length like you're pulling your spine out of your pelvis and then go to the other side. 1 more. Up and over. Inhale. Up and over. Perfect. Now we're going to add on the shoulder circles. So roll the shoulders, bend the knees. Roll the shoulders, bend the knees. It's like you're taking off the biggest sweatshirt, cross the arms, let the shoulder blades glide, and 1 more. Doing great. And then the next time we stand up, we'll finger interlace, lift up through the heels, and exhale, lower the heels. Let's walk that body back in and hold on to a Dynaband. So we're going to take a pretty strong Dynaband at the blades of the lower shoulder, the shoulder blades. You can place the band across the lower shoulder blade and the tails are even. Take an inhale. On your exhale, press out. Palms are facing towards the sky. Elbows lengthen. And look how the shoulder blades are down the back. Exhale. Wrists are fairly neutral. 6. So you're trying not to let them get torqued wildly. 7. Exhale. 8. 9. And 10. All right, we're going to do 10 more. So we'll do 20. 11. Exhale. Pull the belly in. 12. Knees are long, but they're soft. 13. 14, 15, 16, and 17, 18, 19, and 20. Terrific. Now we're going to take a stretch, interlace the fingers at the low back, but if you can't reach, just use your Dynaband to hold on and lift up the shoulders. You're holding here for 5, 4, that looks beautiful. 3, combating the forward stresses of daily living. 2, and 1, letting that go. And then we're going to take the arms overhead in a big Y. When you lift your arms overhead, you're going to make sure your low back isn't getting any more arch. So you're going to pull the abs on, pull the ribs down. So on your exhale, pull about to where your chest is or your collarbone. That's it. Your elbows are pretty long the whole time. There's a little softness in them. And the wrists, you're trying to keep fairly neutral so that you don't hurt your hands and wrist while you're pulling on the strap. Every now and then, just check in with your neck. And that's a good way to make sure you're not creating excess tension. So the shoulder blades are down the back. Even when the arms are overhead, there's no tension in my neck. All right, exhale. The upper traps are not getting used. They're down back, they're relaxed. All right, let's take 5 more. 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Perfect. Now for the stretch, open up your arms a little bit more. Let them get some blood flow. Now the arms are going to go behind you. This is for range of motion. This isn't for strengthening at this moment. We're just getting the shoulder blades to glide down and up, down, up and down. And if you feel like it's too tight, just give yourself a little more space between the hands. You shouldn't have to wiggle your head through the window to get there, right? This is a really good dynamic stretch. 2. And then on the last one, just hold it in a Y position. This is the stretch. It's almost like you've walked through a doorway. You catch your hands on the door jamb, the sides of the doorway, and then you're stretching your body through it. That's a great stretch you can do. And the Dynaband's a way to stimulate that. So hold 5, 4, 3, looks terrific. 2, inhale. And exhale. Good. Let your arms go. Shake them out. And then take your elbows by your side. And you see how your wrists are flat or neutral? Keep them that way. Elbows by your side. And we're going to exhale and open. Exhale, open. This is external rotation. And it's the back of the shoulder, the part of the shoulders that keep our shoulders healthy and a turned out open position. Because usually things that we do during the day require them to internally rotate. So we need to strengthen these muscles so that the shoulders are more evenly toned and safer, protected. All right, so it's a great posture one. 5, yes. 4, your knees are long, but they're soft. Now, generally your ear is over your shoulder here. 2, and 1. Now I'm going to lower this behind my neck, and another stretch you can do, and just a basic, this is also a Qigong move, just swaying. Your hands can actually contact your body and kind of thump. All right, 4, it's like arms, sleeves in the backyard on the laundry line, drying in the wind. 2, and 1. Perfect. Let's take that band in front of us. And with a pretty wide grip, you're going to exhale and pull. Good. Exhale, pull. You got it. Pull. And can you tell it's from the shoulder joint and not the elbows? Now the elbows are staying soft. The wrists are staying pretty neutral. For some reason with the band, sometimes it's easy to go crazy one way or the other with your wrists, but try to keep them pretty neutral. All right, let's do 10 more. Rear shoulder. 9, scapula pull together, but without creating tension. All right, you're upright like a helium balloon's attached to your crown, lifting you up to the sky. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect job. We're going to let that go. Fingers interlace. And you see how you can bend your knees a little, give yourself some support, just round out that upper back, the deltoid and the scapula. 5, 4, 3, and then Catherine, see if you can, instead of here, come back here and do it. Does that make sense? Just a little bit. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a little safer place. Terrific. And then bring that out. Now take your right hand behind you. And let your left hand go to your lumbar spine. And I'm just using the left hand as an anchor. It doesn't really move, but to get a good stretch, this left shoulder shouldn't be here. It should be here. All right, here we go. Press that right elbow up. Exhale, push. Good. And you have a firm tone in your right wrist so that the wrist is pretty neutral. Even though it's behind you, you want to be aware of how it feels when it's neutral. 7, 8, anytime the arms are overhead, the lower back is more likely to get arched in. So you want to make sure to have some ab tone there and it's not poking out. 12, like a gymnast at the end of a performance. 14, good. 15, keep the ear over the shoulder from the side view. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and let that go. Take this hand and on your exhale, We're gonna push out 20 times. That right shoulder is open and not forward. 3, good, Michelle. Make sure 4, your wrist is toned on the top hand. 5, and that you're not pulling it back wildly. 6, you want some tone in there. 7, 8, so your wrist feels neutral, even though it's behind you and you can't see it, you can't check it, you want to feel for it. 10, 11, your body's tall. 12, exhale, push. 13, 14, 15, good. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, let that go. Now take your tricep stretch. This is a really nice way to stretch the tricep. If you'd like to add on, take that other hand and grab your right bands, with each hand, or grab your fingers. Hold this. I've noticed this stretch will be harder if we avoid it for a while, so it's really nice to do most days of the week. So hold that. You can tell when you've been keeping this one up, but you can definitely tell it's like a quickly diminishing skill. All right, shake it out if you need to. You could do either the tricep on the other side or hold that. Okay, good. See how that feels? That looks really good. All right, make sure you're not poking your own head forward, it's almost like your head's on a shelf and you retract your head so that the ear's in line with the shoulder and don't let it go forward. Okay, it's almost like there's a helium balloon attached to your crown, pulling you up effortlessly so that you're not tense to keep your body upright. You're still using almost as little energy as muscles as you can to lift up. 5, so your posture is tall but without stress or over contraction. 2, good. Chin up just a little, Pam, I think. Yeah, maybe you're looking at Rusty. And then exhale. Yeah, I thought so. It looked like you had the head position as someone looking at her dog. Okay, 4, 3. You're allowed to look at your dog during class too. And 1. Perfect. Okay, we are going to add on. Take that band and actually I'm going to grab a sip of water, but we're going to step on the band right in the middle with both feet. So we're staying hydrated. I like 20 minutes or 15 minutes is a good time to grab a sip. So we're at 15. All right, we're going to exhale. Both feet are in the middle of the band. Bend. Now, if you have a different tension band, you may need to do this differently. If you have such a heavy tension band that you can't lift up in this bicep curl, you might just use one foot to step in the middle. Another trick is I'll just demonstrate, if it is really hard, or let's say you did something with your biceps yesterday, you can do it alternating. So otherwise, I'm going to finish out here. You're tall, your wrists are probably neutral here. They want to be pretty neutral. Most likely your palms are facing each other because that's an easier grip with this Dynaband too. You don't have to torque your wrist. All right, let's take 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to take one hand away, use one foot, and you're going to step and press forward. With your arm, push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now give yourself a little slack, maybe an inch or 2. And exhale, you're going to go out more lateral raise. And notice how you're trying to keep the body upright and you're not letting it lean over. The shoulder, the forward is deltoid working, but look how the neck is not. So that's really important to differentiate between the 2 muscle groups when you're doing weight training with the arms. 8, if you're not sure, touch. This is soft on me, just enough to keep my head up. This is toned. This is not tight. I don't have any neck pain when I do this. I want you to not have any either. All right, that's 10. Now let's take the other side. You're going to step on that band. Left foot, left hand is what I'm doing right now. Now your body's upright. Your exhale pulls you up and you're not leaning back. You're standing upright. All four corners of your feet have equal weight. So you're not heavily weighting the heels or overly weighting the toes. If your toes are cramped up like hammer toes, then too much weight's on the front of your foot as a rule of thumb. And we don't want to do anything that promotes that hammer toe. All right, 2 deformation. Okay, now we're gonna make about an inch out, 10 on the lateral, 10. And just for safety, I'm really making sure to keep this in the scapular plane, which is slightly ahead of my body. So I can see my hand, I'm not letting it weight behind me. 4, 5, my shoulder's working, not my neck. 6, my upper trap is really not contracted or angry or congested. 9, and 10. That was really good. Shake it out. Take your band in the middle, both feet. Upright row. This is shoulders and biceps. And now your wrists are pretty neutral. You can look down and see them. Lift your elbows and just check. Your wrists shouldn't be wildly torqued or contorted. You can always choke up more on the band if you need more intensity. Exhale, you're tall. 4, good. 5, so you can look down, your wrists are pretty happy here. 6, your shoulder and bicep are doing this. 7, not your neck. 8, not your wrist, not your thumbs. 9, so just having that intention, putting your intention where you want the work to come from helps keep you honest in your work. Because otherwise your body will get the job done, it'll get that task completed, but it'll do it with sacrificing form normally and letting muscles take over. For example, the neck or the upper traps. And we don't need them anymore contracted right now on this exercise. 6, upright. 7, good. 18, 19, you look marvelous. 20, perfect. Let that go. And keep your arms kind of wide. Find another place to stretch the shoulders. So there's a stretch called the three-way doorway stretch we talked about where you walk through a doorway. And just find another angle because the chest, the pectoralis major has 3 attachments. So it's really nice to open these muscles by getting at least 3 different angles. Let's, you might have to open up your grip a little and then find another angle. 5, 4, let's find another angle. Good. See how the anterior deltoids are getting a stretch too. And notice how you're not poking your head forward. I really like that. Let it go. Beautiful. I am going to let go of this for just a moment and just take a little sway before we add on. We'll grab a sip of water and then we'll have our smaller weights handy. So first we'll do 3, 2, and then 1. Going to grab a sip of water and grab the smaller weights. Anywhere from 3 to 6 or 2 to 6 will be fine. And we'll take up another shoulder opportunity with your feet about parallel, hands by your side. Now actually a little feet about shoulder width, kind of imagine you're in an athletic stance, so you're toned in your body. Your knees have a softness to them, a soft bend, and they're almost like absorption shocks when they have that soft bend. Now as you lift up, you can still see your weights in your hands, so you're in that scapular plane for safety. You're not over recruiting your neck. You're not recruiting your neck really, right? Just enough to keep your head upright. All right, try 5 more. Your upper traps are not doing anything like that. We want to keep see how the shoulders are open? Yes. That's it. Now we're going to lower, with your hands lower, just take a shoulder roll. And sometimes this activity can let you know where do my shoulders need to be. Not here, here, but not with aggression and tightness, just allowing the shoulder blades to fall down the back. Athletic stance, feet about shoulder width. Now you can take both and looking at your wrists are neutral. Let's say you have a heavier weight than you can handle with good form. And the alternative is to just do a right and then a left. So there's no shame in that because it's better to do it with good form than it is to throw your body back or to recruit your neck or upper traps. So I'm looking, everyone looks good. Yes, and you see how you have some ab tone and back tone so that you don't fall back. So you have a little bit of stability tone, muscles for stability toned right now, contracted right now, but they're not tense, but they're just supporting you. Good. 3, you're breathing. Exhale, 2, inhale, exhale, and 1. Now take a little shoulder roll. And when you do that, if you accidentally recruited your neck during this, you'll feel it. So let this next set be without the neck. Now we're going to keep that athletic stance. And look how long my back is. I'm not rounding it to do this. So long back, athletic. Now after you see what I do, you're going to look down probably 2 feet, 1.5 feet in front of your own feet so that your neck has no congestion in it. You're not looking up, torquing it with wrinkles. Your rear deltoid, the back of the shoulder, I'm going to take a look because there's medial and anterior and posterior, and this muscle needs to get some attention because most of our tasks are forward. So this is also good for posture. Looks wonderful. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Good. When you lift up, make sure your neck isn't tightening to help that last inch. No need for it. Let's do 3. Exhale. Let's do 2. Good. Exhale, 1. And then take a little breather. Stand up. Shoulders roll. Good job. Now we're going to take these same weights or somewhere between 2 and 6. And you can do this seated in a chair. Right now we're going to just take an athletic stance. Exhale, push up. But when you go up, when your arms go up, look how I'm not recruiting my upper traps. It's almost as if your shoulder blades go low as your arms go up. Yeah. Another trick to do that is to be just a tiny bit wider. If you get too narrow, it's easy to err in the upper trapezius. So the arms almost feel like they're in the right place, like a puzzle piece. 3, your belly pulls in so that when you lift your arms overhead, you're not arching your back. 2, good. Exhale, make sure your neck didn't contract. And 1. And let's let these down and take some stretches. We're lengthening these as we contract. All right, a couple ways to do this. One is right arm over the left and you press. Almost like you're patting yourself on the back. Another variation, now remember you can stay there, is to wrap your arms around each other. Okay, I've got it in my palms too. Now if you're wanting to add on to that, you can sit down and add a little squat. If you're wanting to add on to that, so I have my left arm underneath, so I'll take my left thigh over, and now we're getting a single leg squat with the right leg, and the left hip is opening. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale and exhale. Let that go. You remember how we did the little clothes drying in the wind on the clothesline? All right, let's do the other side. And you could be doing the arm across. You could be adding on, okay? So I'll step back. You could take your eagle arms, lift the elbows about shoulder height, but no neck tension. Really make sure there's no neck tension here. See how easy it would be? Drop that down. All right, sit in a chair or lift the right leg once or twice. Good. Now it's a left-legged squat and it's a right-legged hip opener. If you bend your left knee more, oh, you have a better chance of wrapping those toes in eagle. Okay, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale. And so on the exhale, we're going to come back up. Good. Let those little arms breathe. And then feet down, right foot over, left arm down, down the thigh. Roll. And breathe. And 5, and 4, 3, 2. Find a different angle, either roll up or more down, and see if you can get another place. That one feels so good. This one's so important for posture. It's so important to for the low back pain prevention, shoulder health, and to prevent the internal rotation that happens at the arms. So it's so good for posture. You're able to stand taller after this kind of stretch. Take the other foot and lift up the left arm. Act like you're taking your spine out of your pelvis and then go over. Now your right hand's on your thigh. You're welcome to add your own flavor to these lateral flexions, to any of these stretches, generally, as long as our general forms are correct. We have general rules of thumb in anatomy, and then we have individual issues. So some of you have had a car wreck or you've had falls. So that's why we generally have these rules of thumb, and then we might need to tweak it. Hold. I like it. Now a little different place. Push your hip out. You can get some of that TFL sometimes, depending. All right, inhale, breathe into the rib cage. Intercostals love this. They get so tight with just short, shallow breaths of stress. So you really want to, during the day, deepen the breath, posterior, lateral, diaphragmatic, and it's like taking an energy drink in the middle of the day. It's so good. All right, let's take 3 breaths up just to kind of get some flow before we add on some heavier weights. Inhale, get some movement. 2, good, and 1 more, and 3. Good, lift up the heels and just kind of tiptoe the feet back and together. 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower. All right, we're going to take heavier weight because we're going to do some biceps, which is shorter lever and only 1 joint. So probably somewhere between 2 and 10. 4 and 10 is probably more like it. Good. So we're going to exhale and pull up. Now keep going. I'm just going to talk about the different things you can do. Your feet are about shoulder width apart. Your knees are soft. Your elbows are flexing, and unlike the Donovan you could keep going and you would feel tension. But if I go here, I don't even really feel anything, do I? So work in a range of tension and feel that, and then you kind of feel it go away. So we're going to range. Now the other thing you can do is a hammer curl here, and the wrists are, see how the wrists are still straight? Making sure that we don't, when the arms are down, we don't let our shoulders go forward. That's where you're most vulnerable. So your shoulder blade stabilizers, the back of the shoulders, are working to keep your shoulders from doing this, even when you're doing an exercise that ostensibly doesn't use the shoulders. It's using the shoulder blade stabilizers. And that's where the work really helps us during the day, because when you're doing some task during your day, your body remembers, hey, I need my shoulder blade stabilizers on, even though it won't say that. It knows how to keep the shoulders safe. That's where the help comes from. So take 2 more and take 1 more. All right, I'm gonna lower these down for a minute to take a bit of a stretch. Let's do, this is a little more chest shoulder, but it's still nice. Open up, 5, good, that looks great. I like how you're not poking your head forward while you're doing this. Pull your, yeah, there you go. That's it, Michelle. You almost did. And then 5, 4, 3, good. And then open up your arms and pull the fingers back. Now, I don't have hyperextensive elbows, but if you do, you have to make sure you don't bend your elbows behind your arm. I can't even show it because I'm not built that way, but I do have people that they bend backwards. So in this stretch, don't let those elbows bend backwards. Keep some tone there. Good. And then while we're here, we'll do a little bit of a thumb together. This is for the ulnar nerves and the stretch on the underside, and the palms go up like you're making goggles. Good. This is also an ulnar, but look how I'm not activating my traps to get here. Shoulder blades are down the back. Actually flip your hands, Catherine. So yeah, see that? Now watch. Fingers go to your jaw. Flip your hands. Even more. Even more. Almost. Yeah, better. 5, 4, 3, 2. And then one that's less, just sort of that way. I was thinking, find a 5-year-old and ask them to show you, and they'll show you right away up close, and take the other side. And take this down. Good, top of the forearm. And the top of the forearm. Take the arms out, fingers down, and take them behind you. Good. Inhale. Make sure you don't hyperextend your elbows. I can't even show you what that means because I don't do it, but just make sure your elbows don't backward go. Palms up. Good. Let's roll out the wrist. Lubricating the little bag of pebbles in our wrist, the backwards now. All right. Let's grab one of the heavier weights. So for example, I'll just take a 9. You can also do this with 2 smaller weights. You're going to take that behind. Now when you take something behind you, you really have to make sure your lower back isn't overly inwardly arched, that you're not doing that, okay? I don't even like to show that form because I don't want to hurt my body. But up, it's so easy here if you're feeling tight, like if your lats are tight, these muscles, then it's easy that your body tries to do the goal, accomplish the goal by getting lordotic and swaying your low back. So you don't want to do that. You want your ribs over your pelvis. You don't want to thrust your ribs more forward of the rest of your lower body. Now extend your elbows and bend them and extend. Good. Now, can you move your neck easily? That's one little litmus that says that you're keeping your neck not so tight. You don't need your upper traps engaged. Good. All right, 5. Triceps are really important for hip fracture prevention because when people fall, they tend to put out a hand. And if the tricep isn't strong enough to catch it, they'll land on a hip. And if their hip's already got microarchitectural fractures, it'll just be the straw that broke the camel's back. And then let that go. Good. Take that out. And then let's take the other one of those heaviers. Inhale. Feet are about shoulder width apart. And good. Up. Oh, great. And 2. And up. So it's like you're zipping up a large ski suit or a large pair of pajamas, a long pair of pajamas. 6. Big zip. 7. This one again, you're using your shoulders and your biceps. 8. You're not using your wrists or your thumbs or as little as you can. These are in neutral. All right. Take it for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Now take a little breather. Roll that out. I'm going to show you this from the side. You can take that bent over position. See how your back is straight? You're not rounded like a Halloween cat. Now you can look down, kind of like we did for rear deltoid. And it's almost as if you're starting an old-fashioned lawnmower. You're pulling that cord up. Exhale, your heels are connected to the floor. Exhale, 6. I like how you're not letting your neck poke forward. Your neck is in line with the rest of your body. Good. I like how your legs are athletic right now. They're not just spaghetti, loosely holding you. Very good. Yep, very good. You don't have to bend your elbows quite so much, Catherine. So instead of this here, just go up. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, your weights won't be so close to your shoulders. They'll be just vertical. The forearm is vertical. All right, take 2 more. Now use your abdominals to support yourself when you stand up. Take those weights, and they're going to be handy because we're going to do something on the floor. Just for a moment. Press out. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Terrific. Now we're going to do a stretch for the upper back. So take the fingers first, go up and over, just kind of like we did earlier. Inhale up and over. And it's a little easier since we've done it once. And up and back slightly in the upper back. Inhale and exhale. Now this is one-legged balance. So I'm going to take off my socks for this. You're going to put your right foot on your calf or your inner thigh. And for now, just hold for 10. And this is glute medius. It's such a, the muscle gets amnesia in it, or it gets dysfunction a lot. So just want to make sure we have a good handle of at least a one-legged balance. That's, for the most part, it's static. It's okay if you move a little, but I want to at least establish that. That way you know you have something you can do whenever you need it. Make sure, see how that hip's not kicking out, it's in the body. Now to add on, see how your arms can be like a T. Now it's still balanced and it's now dynamic, it's a little more dynamic. I'm changing I'm challenging the vestibular system. You see how I'm turning, rotating, 5, breathing, 4, but I'm also getting an upper back stretch, 3, 2, open up your arms, hands together, and lower it down. Very good. You can also tell the muscles of the lower leg and the feet were working. Lift and spread your toes. If you look down at your toes, you really want to see space between each of the toes. Your fingers are neurologically tied, so keep doing this. Lift and spread your toes to your fingers. Your toes and fingers are neurologically tied. So adding your hands will help. And if you don't see space, get down there and move them. Left foot on the wherever, let's say calf or the inner thigh. Just really not the knee. Okay. Balance. Good. Sometimes the dominant mover leg, the one that if I said, could you kick a soccer, which leg makes you be able to kick a soccer ball as far as you can, that leg is sometimes a little less prepared, agile, or good at stability. Let's see if you notice anything. Good, everybody looks great. You're very tall. You can add on. You're welcome to turn. Your gaze follows the horizon. Very tall. 2. Hands together. Lower that left foot down. That was really good. All right, great. Let's head down, and you have your weights handy because we are going to do some chest. Now, if you need a sip of water, this is a great time to take it. We're going to start with a fly those hyperextensive people, when we do fly, you really need to make sure that your elbows don't bend behind you like that. You're basically hugging a tree. Now, if this is where you might need a pillow, if you have a forward head syndrome, like when you stand, your head kind of rises straight ahead of your body, or your upper back is rounded, you're going to want a pillow. Because we don't have to strain the neck. These are all without straining the neck. Another good place to help prevent the body from strain or to support it is to put the feet on the floor. And if you have a bench, some of you might have worked out. We're going to open up as I continue my talk. Some of you might have worked out at a gym before the COVID, or maybe during it still. But you're sometimes there have been some higher benches of late, and if you're a smaller person and you're on that high bench and your feet are really not able to contact the floor, you'll notice it almost puts you in a lordotic state. So if you have a bench like that, you can put your feet on the bench so that you don't struggle. It's not worth hurting your body to get a workout. There are so many ways to get a good workout. So please feel like you can email me. There are modifications. There's so many tools in the toolbox. You do not have to have an injury to work out. You can do this without hurting your joints. Okay, back to the exercise. Your wrists are neutral. You're opening up, and I chose a little bit of a lighter weight, but it does keep it a little bit safer. You can do more. This is new to you since we're not in person doing form corrections. Check your neck. It should be happy. My neck is thrilled. It has no problems. Make sure you're not looking at me too much though once you get form. Keep your gaze ahead where your neck is soft. All right, let's do 3 more. Chest and anterior deltoids. The pecs major like to do horizontal adduction. That's what we're doing in line with gravity. 2, inhale, and exhale. Now, take that out of the way, and we'll just take a full body stretch for a moment. Lengthen your legs, shift through your legs. Inhale, and I am going to take the heavier weights on this one. If you're happy with yours, just keep them. So a little bit heavier, it's going to be, it's almost like a push-up. Now, you can also do a push-up instead. Notice how I put the feet back, your elbows are out. Now you're going to push up. The middle of your weights might touch, and elbows. Good, and exhale, push. Good, yes, great pain. Inhale, and exhale. Good, exhale. And while we're speaking about pillows, the pillow height would be different for different people. So if you were really upper back rounded, then you would need probably more of a pillow. If you're just a little bit head forward or upper back rounded, then a smaller pillow. Pretty flat back, so I don't really need a pillow. Maybe just a small mat, one extra layer of a mat would work for me, but people are different, so you have to experiment. 5, good, exhale, 4, inhale, let your abdominals help you, 3, and I like how you're looking up and not looking at me after you figure out what we're doing. 2, your neck is not contracted, it's soft. Exhale, and if you need to do more to get your fatigue towards the final repetitions, you can. You would like some fatigue and challenge at the final repetitions. Now we're going to add on, take your left leg down and take your right arm over. So just take a little rotation here. That is also a chest stretch. Let your left hand hold on to the top of that knee. You're facing that right hand, but if you want to close your eyes to create awareness on the internal environment, like your body, that's just fine. And let your parasympathetic system calm. It's one of my favorite stretches. It's hard to leave it, but we're going to leave it just to get to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Take that right leg long. Now take the left knee over. Hand to the thigh. Left arm over. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhale, and exhale, come back. Pull your legs in and hug. All right, you're just gonna rock a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. We're gonna turn over. All right, we're gonna put the roller possibly underneath our shin. If you do not have a roller, or you just want to do a normal plank, you can. But we're going to tell you different ways to do that plank. Those abs. Now, if your elbows prefer more cushion, you can always put your doubled up mat here and take a long plank. Now, if you need to modify, go to your knees. In general, your humerus, your arms here are vertical. You're pushing into the mat, so you never want to collapse. You want to push. Your ribs are lifted, your legs are long, and you can act like your arms are pulling towards your feet, and your feet are pulling towards your arms to create an even more of an isometric contraction for the abs. Hold 5, ear in line with the shoulder. 4, 3, 2, now 1, rest. Good. All right, we're going to do this on the side plank. Turn, elbow underneath. I definitely like cushion for this. It can be staggered on the roller. It's just going to provide a little bit of instability. Now, if that's not serving you, then go back to the floor. 7, head in line with the body. Chin tuck a little bit, Catherine. Yeah, 6. There you go. Better. 5, 4. Good, Betty. 3, 2. Good, Pam. Now, come down, but keep your tone in your shoulder. Other side, I'm going to turn. You can do yours facing the other way, but I want to turn so I can see these little faces doing side planks in the Zoom corners. All right, inhale and exhale, hold. Beautiful. It is as if you were in a toaster slot. Yes. 8, 7, 6. Lift your hips. 5, 4, 3, 2. And 1, lower your hips. Nice. All right, so we hit all the angles. This is the reverse plank, or not all of them. This is the last one. Fingertips towards your booty. The heels are on the roller. Take an inhale and exhale, lift up. Yep, that's right. Or you can do something else like bound angle or another front plank. 5, look down to the toes. There's a habit in this one to people to throw their head back. And I think it's from old pictures that people saw in yoga books. I'm not sure why, but you don't really want to throw it back. 2, and exhale, 1. Okay, now we're going to add a little bit of fun, even more fun to our planks. So we're going to forearm support, grab the roller at the bottom end of your feet, and you're going to do inchworm. This is one of my favorites. Now, internally rotate your toes. So your toes face towards each other, your thighs are internally rotated. That way you don't roll out your tibia and it hurts the bone. You want to roll out the muscle. Bend your knees and then extend. And then just adjust your roller if you need to have more room. 2. And this is for the abs. 3, with the shoulder blade stabilizers. 4, now when you roll in, check your neck. There should be no more tension in your neck when you roll your knees in. 8, 9, 10. Now, I'm going to rest in child pose here because it's so fun. The hips get to be a little higher. It's almost like puppy dog pose. That's another fun way to do it too. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, this one's called moguling or corner to corner. I really like this one. You're going to go long. Inhale, you're going to like it for your obliques. Bend your knees to one corner. And then now shift your weight, bend to the other. And 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Now pull your knees in, take a breather. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale. And this one's called pike. You're going to really like it. This is where you lift the hips up. So go long, and lift up. And back down, and lift up, and back down. Exhale. Now check your neck. When you lift your hips, there's no tension in the neck. Your gaze probably shifts a little bit towards your roller when your hips are up. 2 more. 1. So good. Now we're going to do a really fun one for the upper back because that's so important to keep the posture muscles healthy. Let's take our belly down. You're going to take your arms wide underneath your belly. It's an imaginary piece of ice. Inhale, lift. You can do these without the roller as well. And lift. Inhale. And exhale. And lift. Inhale. And exhale. And lift. Up. And down. Get up. And down. All right. I like it. 5. Yep. Now check your shoulders. They're down the back. When you're at the top of your swan, is your neck just in line or is there any tension? Just make sure there's no tension. You look good. Long elbows. 3, 2, and hold this up. Hold 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale and exhale. 1. Terrific job. Child pose. Press your hips back. If that doesn't serve your knees, you can always do puppy dog pose. This is also just good here. It takes the shoulders a little stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's roll out. We had such a fun time. Let's do 20 seconds on the IT band. Let your elbow down. Maybe it's going to be 30. I think it could be 30. All right, roll out from the hip. It attaches on the ilium of the gluteal fascia, and it attaches on the fibular head of the past the knee, but I don't want us to roll out the knee. So just leave a couple inches before you knee. And if you roll a little bit forward, you're going to feel that TFL muscle. It's about 3 fingers wide. Roll that TFL muscle. Roll out that all around the greater trochanter. And just see what you notice. And remember, if you have a trigger point and it's almost like it takes your breath away, you can sink into it. 30 seconds to 90 usually. Just do what you need to do. Yep. Maybe that TFL. Here, I'll demonstrate one on the TFL. Relaxing. And let's just make nice and roll. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, there is a difference. Oh, just in that little bit. That's all it takes. So if you're ever just kind of feeling achy, you can just do a little roll and you'll be surprised. It doesn't have to be a whole long session. I mean, if you have the time and you can do that, great. Or you just need almost like a full body massage for yourself, you can do this. It's so nice. And you can do it at your home. You can do it wherever you have your roller. But it's also, I don't want it to feel like you have to wait till you have that full hour. Just hit the muscles, 30 seconds, a few times a week even. Just something is better than nothing. And give yourself permission to do small goals, especially if you're having a really busy week. And that even just is good for creating that habit. And then who knows, you might end up doing more time. There's that TFL when you roll forward. If you find a spot, sit on it. You probably have one leg that's tighter than the other. So if you need to do that side more, you can. Or if your lateral knee ever bothers you, the IT band is usually a reason. Or if your outer hips feel arthrogenic, sometimes it's just the IT band that needs rolling. God, keep going. See how that is. Ah, it feels really good though. No, it doesn't, you say? All right, take 10. There's the spot. 9, no, 30 seconds to 90. Sometimes it can be released in 20. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to just use the roller for line on it and just take 30 seconds to relax. Let your arms open. This is a fascial stretch, not chest and pec. And relax yourself with diaphragmatic breathing, belly breath. Let your body integrate all of the wonderful things we did. And notice how it can be in a calm state, and it's really good for the nervous system to relax. Sometimes letting go of tension that accidentally is accumulated. Sometimes you don't even know that you're holding on to tension in areas. Let the body relax. And just keep that sense of wellness as you wake up your fingers and your toes and you come up towards a seated position. You did so good today. And as you're seated, diaphragmatically breathe. Let the eyes close so that you're focused more on your internal environment. And that's the first step to having a great day, regardless of the external environment, which is harder to control. So take that sense of peace and joy and appreciation with you. And go spread some love today and have an awesome day. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. You did fabulous.